yourself having a problem with saying no to people? An important part of being an adult is the ability to manage your own affairs and your own schedule. Not being able to say no to people or things can lead to a lot of mental health issues. This can include stress, anxiety, and depression. By not putting yourself first, your family or the values that you stand by can open the door to mental illnesses. You are essentially allowing other people or things to control your schedule, your finances, and maybe eventually your sanity. You may feel guilty or selfish if you say no to someone who asks you to do something. But in fact, they can easily ask someone else to do it themselves, or find a way around it. But if they know you always are going to say yes to everything they ask of you, they're not going to make the effort to ask other people or find another way. And hence, that's why you shouldn't always say yes to everything. Because some people in this world are actually just selfish, lazy, and may just be using you. The truth is, if you say no to them, it is not the end of the world. If they make you feel guilty or force you to do something you don't want to, are they even worthy to be your friend? Are they even a loving family member? Are they the employer that you want to work for? To be able to ask these questions, though, you need to be firstly secure in who you are. Often it can be due to our insecurities that we can't say no to people. We fear that we are going to be left out. People are going to hate us. What if when we need help, no one's going to help us? But if someone is constantly asking you to do the dirty work for them because they know you will, it's time to listen carefully to these 3 things I'm going to teach you about saying no, and start doing something positive for yourself today. So, number 1, know yourself and feel secure. This is much harder than it sounds. Being secure means essentially that you accept yourself for who you are, and you don't have to pretend to be someone else that you're not. And you don't need to be on your guard all the time to make sure that no one finds out who you truly are inside. Take some time to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like, and notice how people that you hang around make you feel when you're around them. Do you always feel like you have to pretend to like what they do when you'd rather just be doing something else? As Dr. Seuss once said, those who don't matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Number 2, you always have a choice. When things go wrong, it can be easy to blame others for forcing us or telling us to do it. But when you look back at the situation objectively, most of us had a choice, and some chose to let themselves be controlled. Maybe it was by your own desire for money, fame, popularity, or fortune. But honestly, if it is important to you, do it. But if you are only doing it because you are afraid of what will happen if you don't, and about someone being upset if you don't, then think again why you are doing what you are doing. Remember, you always have a choice, and others may not have as much control over you as your mind tells you it does. Number 3, it is perfectly fine not to be fine. I think this is an important point. You don't have to pretend to be okay all the time. If your friend is feeling sick and suddenly cancels on you, do you A, immediately think that they are lying and get angry at them for bailing at you on the last minute? Or B, reassure them that their health is more important than going out when they are sick, and ask if there's anything you can do to help them feel better? If you chose A, would you want someone to think that about you? If you chose B, I think you are a good friend, and sometimes you need to be able to be a good friend to yourself. However, most of us are harder on ourselves than we are with other people. Many treat ourselves quite brutally, myself included. But if you take yourself outside your current situation and look at it objectively and pretend to see yourself in third person, you may find it easier to think more clearer. Are my actions really that bad? Everyone gets sick. Everyone gets depressed. or anxious at some stage in their life. And it is up to us to be more understanding and more empathetic towards them, because we probably want them to do the same for us when we are in that situation. So, in conclusion, a lot of people, myself included, have never realized that we have had such a bad habit of saying yes to everything and everyone and not being able to say no. This leads us to having overcrowded and often stressful schedules. We lend money and possessions that we don't want to. We give up a lot of our time doing a lot of stuff we really don't want to do. We forget that we have been asked and not commanded to do a lot of these things. A real friend is not going to unfriend you because you said no to a coffee date, because you had an assignment due the next day, or because you didn't have any sleep yesterday night. I think a lot of people think that they are more important than they actually are. But to be honest, people are always somewhat replaceable. I hope this video inspires you to think twice before the next time you are asked to do something you really didn't want to. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!